This is Eyewitness News.
Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. This was another week dominated by extreme weather in the Western Cape. First, it was the freak waves there. This time, rains and flooding. Thousands have been left homeless and destitute as the rebuilding begins. Towns were cut off, roads closed, and cars washed away.
Meanwhile, the Overstrand municipality has implemented water restrictions in Greater Hermanus and Kleinmond, where many residents haven't had water since Saturday, since a major pipe washed away. Some residents have also been without power. In the city of Cape Town, scores of communities were left without power for extended periods of time, as the damaging winds and heavy rains severely damaged electrical infrastructure. Eskom had given the city of Cape Town a brief respite from load shedding to allow technical teams to restore the supply of electricity safely. In its latest update, the city says the majority of the storm-related power faults have now been resolved. This disaster has claimed the lives of 8 people who got electrocuted. The victims include 4 people in the COVID-19 informal settlement in Drift Sands and 4 children in the Philippi East area. When police arrived in the Klipfontein Mission Statement informal settlement in Philippi East earlier this week, they found residents retrieving the bodies of 4 boys from a local dam. They were just 12 and 13 years old. Humanitarian aid organizations like Red Cross and Gift of the Givers have been working around the clock to assist flood victims. They've, however, not yet been able to get relief supplies to many communities where access has been cut off. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News, Cape Town.
The harsh conditions led to mayhem on the roads. This fatal Golden Arrow bus accident, one of the worst. 3 people died and 21 others were injured when the bus overturned in the Athlone area on Monday. Shahima River, a passenger trapped in the wreckage, has welcomed the suspension of the bus driver involved.
When I was even pulling myself out from under the bus, I crawled my way over. It hit a bit when I had to stand up, and I told them that I can't stand up. But while I was under the bus, looking left and right, and I'm seeing everyone bleeding, and I'm trying to pull myself, but that's when I felt like I'm unable to.
The bus company says the bus driver has been suspended pending an internal police investigation into the matter. Disaster management teams have been activated in KZN. Coastal towns are preparing for 5-metre-high waves and strong winds.
We'll use the strength that whatever that happens in the city, we are able to save lives. To us, what is primary objective is to make sure that we save lives. There's no way we can run away from disasters. The city is gearing itself to manage whatever disaster that will come. We have drawn lessons from the previous disasters.
A voice drove him to commit his crimes and terrorize the community of Ekurhuleni for 9 years. Nkosinathi Phakathi was convicted of 90 counts of rape and 43 counts of kidnapping. His youngest victim was 9 years old.
Well, the case against Ekurhuleni serial rapist Nkosinathi Phakathi was postponed this morning till the 27th of November, and this is to allow Phakathi to undergo psychiatric evaluation. The attorney representing Phakathi, a legal aid advocate, Lesego Kohane, said that he was unable to take proper instructions from Phakathi due to him being mentally unstable. Earlier this week, a psycho-legal report was handed in as evidence into court. It was compiled by independent clinical psychologist Dr. Lynette Roux, and within this report, it said that Phakathi suffered from 4 mental disorders, the most prevalent being schizophrenia. The judge was left with no choice but to allow Phakathi to undergo psychiatric evaluation before judgment can be handed down. Remember, Phakathi is trying to get sentenced to a psychiatric facility over a correctional center. The state is strongly opposing this, but in accordance with the Criminal Procedure Act, the judge had to postpone the matter to allow him to undergo psychiatric evaluation. For Eyewitness News, I'm Oren Singh, reporting from Palm Ridge.
Zoleka Mandela has been buried today. The granddaughter of struggle stalwarts Nelson and Winnie Mandela died on Monday evening after a lengthy battle with cancer. She was 43. Some residents in Orlando described Mandela as one of their own, while praising her resilience of overcoming her drug and alcohol addiction, as well as her journey with cancer.
It is a sad day. Of course, she has not been well, but she was an ambassador even in her most vulnerable days.
Her grandmother was honoured too. The William Nicol Drive has been named Willie Mandela Drive. The 4K stretch was named after the struggle stalwart who would have turned 87. The city of Johannesburg says the renaming is part of its mission to remove the legacy of apartheid. Nicol was the second chairperson of the Afrikaner Broederbond, a white nationalist organisation credited with the formulation of apartheid.
The man of the hour, the Grammy award-winning, I call him Mr. Silver Fox. Okay, Black Coffee!
Black Coffee will be playing tomorrow at the world's most iconic stage, New York's Madison Square Gardens. Too late. If anyone wants a ticket, the show is sold out.
This audacious plan to fill up Madison Square Garden. What was the inception of that, and why?
It's always been about building a brand, be strong outside the continent, and try and do this thing, this kind of genre, on the highest level possible, so that it can be recognized as a genre that can grow and be consumed like other big genres.
Another important match is coming up on Sunday in the Rugby World Cup. The Springboks face Tonga. Our boys need maximum points if they want to get anywhere close to the finals.
All eyes will be on fly half Handré Pollard, who makes his return to the Springbok team after more than a year on Sunday. He's one of 12 changes made to the starting lineup as the world champions go in search of a bonus point victory against Tonga. Coach Jacques Nienaber named a completely new backline with Grant Williams and Makazole Mapimpi as the wings and Andre Esterhuizen along with Kenan Moody forming the centre combination. Captain Siakolisi, 8th man Jasper Visa and Lock Eben Etzebeth are the only players to retain their places from the side that lost to Ireland last week, while Dwayne Vermeulen starts at flank with Dion Fourie at hooker. And Nienaber has asked for caution and patience with Pollard, who's played just 30 minutes of rugby in the last 19 weeks due to injury and hasn't featured for the Boks in the past 13 months. And as with all tests against the Pacific Island nations, this promises to be a bruising and physical encounter, but one that the Boks must overcome convincingly to take a step towards the quarterfinals. Kickoff is at 9 p.m. Mawande Mateza, Eyewitness News Sport.
Have a good weekend. I'll see you again on Monday.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.